Yun o, first Tito Riders, James, Iggy. Nantay lang namin si Umali. Punta kaming Tagaytay. Ako mag-stay na ako dun. Pero gusto ko maka 100 km. So babalik ako ng 20k pagdating doon pababa. Samahan ko sila pabalik. Tapos aahon ulit ako 20k paakyat para maka 100. Tsaka kasi wala pa sina Amanda doon pagdating ko. Okay, nakita mamaya. Paranaque na kami. Harapas, the project. Tapos carbon yung crank. Steel frame, carbon crank. Siguro kailangan itali ito, men. Tumatama ito.
May kilala ako, Sir frame, the mid-flex version, carbon for deep section pack. Deep section wheels.
What? Medyo weird yun, ha? Alright. Ang radial. Dito yung mga nag-20-20 pag umaga. I think mamaya meron eh. Daming siklista. Kasama natin si Boss Iggy. Boss Iggy malakas. Nasa likod, Doc Andro, James. Now, Imos Cavite, flag capital of the Philippines. I think this is where the flag was made. Designed and made. Awesome.
Nag-secret training ako to eh.
Ang inang yan.
Bigat pala eh.
Added weight lang.
Secret training.
Ano James, success ba? Success?
Sobrang success. Lumbas lahat ng beer.
Shoutout to Chowking, malaking halo-halo. Almost Dasma, Cavite. Tapos after that, siguro mga 10k na lang. Ano na yun eh. Tapos yun na yung ahon. Yun na yung ahon. Pero yun nga, 5% max. Yeah, hindi siya siguro mga 5 or 6% yung pinaka max niya. Most of it is like 3. Parang lang, parang nagboso-boso lang. Kasi medyo rolling hills siya eh. Hindi siya parang Revpal. Ibomba kayo, sir? Okay kayo?
Price?
Ha?
Price po.
Flies? Teka ba, meron yung kasama namin. Meron yan. May kasama ka. May flies ka, Doc? Flies? Ayun oh. Si Doc kompleto yan.
Saan po tayo, sir?
Tagaytay lang. Kayo? Lapit na. Ayan po, si Iggy Hizon po. Tinatrangkuhan po ako. Dinihila ako patas ng Tagaytay. Sina Albelda, naiwan na. Kasama ni Emergency Doc Kumali. Morning mga idol. Gusto mo dito, may bows. Kape. Bows oh, ay coffee project pala. Okay. Para may kape. Diba? Yung mga kasama natin, medyo medyo masakit na yung katawan. So balikan natin sila. Tapos tingnan natin.
Hanap ng bulalo eh.
Oo, may bulalo eh. Wala na.
Wala na.
Sige. Kung babanat ka, ngayon ka na bumanat. Habang hindi mo sila kasama. Kasi hindi yan babanat, pagod yan eh. Oo, kung babanat ka, banat ka. Sige lang. Gusto mo ng paracetamol? Meron ako.
Hindi, okay lang. Mag-arm optional lang ako. Pag nag-paracetamol yata yung liver, pwede pa bang mag-arm
Pwede naman clean yun, pero wala siyang...
Hindi siya anti-inflammatory.
Grabe yun. Gulat ako eh, pag padya ko kanina, lumobo.
Sakit?
Medyo. Ano yung lumobo? Pag pinapadya ko, lumobo.
Diyan nakita mo, nagtatahi na siya.
Yan, hanggang dito na lang sila. Oh, bye touch mates.
See you next time!
Si James, masakit ang tuhod. Yan. Okay lang yan, may bukas pa, may bukas pa.
Damn!
Bike check, bike check. Ayun o, S-Works, SL6, between, touring bike, Pangandro, Pangharabas. The project. Magkakit, Phil.
Ulitin natin.
Okay. Ayun. Iniwan ko na sila Doc Andro, EP James. Kasi uwi na sila, ako mag-stay ako sa Tagaytay. So I'm gonna continue the rest of the ride solo. See where I get. And then Amanda's picking me up at the gate of Highlands because you cannot bike inside. Takbong chill lang muna. Then maybe I'll eat when I get there. Yo! Alright, so I'm headed to Tagaytay. This is the climb up. Traffic's bad on the way back to Manila, but headed to Tagaytay. It looks pretty good. The climb is about 10 kilometers here on Emilio Aguinaldo Highway, which is like this is the most direct route if you want to go to Tagaytay. So all you have to do is pass through Bacoor and Las Piñas before that. And basically, if you're familiar with Chirino Highway eventually becomes E. Aguinaldo Highway, which is what I'm on right now. And if you keep going straight, you'll end up here in Imus and then Las Marinas, Cavite. What's nice about this particular route going to Tagaytay is it's just straight. The first time I went to Tagaytay, actually I went to Batangas and passed through Tagaytay. We passed Amadeo. So Amadeo is a little bit longer to get to Tagaytay, but it's not as steep. But actually, this one isn't so steep either. The max here is maybe like only 5 or 6%. So and if you want to get some friends into cycling their long ride and you want to get them to go to Tagaytay, maybe that's one way to convince them. Just tell them that, hey, it's only 5 to 6% maximum. So it's not that steep. So yeah, this is about the start of the climb. It's about maybe 10 or 15, maybe 20 kilometers from here up to the Tagaytay Rotonda. Alright, so I'm gonna take it easy here so that when we get there to the top, that's when we can put out our effort. Alright, so once you get past Governor's Drive in Cavite, that's pretty much when it starts to climb up. This part is like a false flat, so it looks flat, but it's a little bit pointing upwards. So this is a climb, but it's not that hardcore, maybe like 1 or 2%. So this is where the climb starts, really. So I'm gonna take it easy because I know I need to conserve. Exiting Imus, Cavite and entering Las Marinas, Cavite. Awesome. Part of Cavite, I'm not so sure. Tagaytay City. Alright, just climbing already. Yeah, this is about as steep as it gets here. This is probably the part that's 5%. Yeah. Whew. So yeah, it's a little bit steep. city of Dasmariñas, home of the Paro Festival, Butterfly Festival. It's hot. Need some Guitar Girl. Shout out. I always take Vitargo with me on my long rides today. If you're not familiar with what Vitargo is, basically it's liquid carbs that's very easily absorbed by the body. So, you know, if you feel like you're running out of energy, carbohydrates is what you need. This particular blend, I guess, is carbohydrates with electrolytes. Then I put in a noon tablet, which is more electrolytes, just so that in this heat, I make sure I'm getting it all electrolytes. You could also go the route of, you know, natural food, bananas, bread, you know, that kind of thing. Buko juice, buko shakes or whatever. But which is usually what I do in the start of the ride, a long ride. I'll start with like heavier food. I had a banana, I had 2 bananas, I had a sausage McMuffin to start my day. But kind of like here, I'm already 60 kilometers into my ride. It's easier for my body to absorb liquid carbs. Liquid carbs are gonna be absorbed easier by your body, especially Vitargo. It's like a special blend of carbs that's really fast. So if you're familiar with fast carbs and slow carbs, basically like something like more complex carbohydrates. So here's what my mom makes me eat, like brown rice or whatever, anything with like high grain, you know, whole wheat or whatever. Those are the things that are slow digesting carbs. So in a situation like this, when you're tired, you just need this fuel. You want fast digesting carbs, and that's what Vitargo is. A fast acting carb with electrolytes. So I know I have energy, I have fuel. How much Vitargo? I'm still trying to figure out what's like the best blend for me. But what I follow what the you know, the tub says. Basically it's about 2.5 scoops of Vitargo. There's a scooper inside, so for every something like 200 milliliters or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I kind of just put it enough Vitargo in my water bottle so that when I run out of water, there's still a little bit of Vitargo that's kind of like solidified at the bottom. So when I add more water, it's going to like help me out. So a lot of this Tagaytay route, Emilio Aguinaldo Highway, is a lot of rolling hills. So it goes up, it goes down, kind of just keeps going. It's like a long, slow uphill. If you're from Metro Manila and you want to practice for a ride like this, like going to Tagaytay, I would recommend try going to Boso Boso in Antipolo, or Boso Boso. That's the way you say it, I think. Yeah, it's very similar in the landscape, like rolling hills, uphills, downhills, but it's not as far. It's a little bit steeper, so it's gonna prepare you for the intensity that you're gonna get when you're here, because it's steeper than this, but it's not as far, so not as intense as Boso Boso is, Emilio Aguinaldo Highway to Tagaytay, but it is shorter, so this is a little bit longer than Boso Boso. But if you want to practice for, you know, this particular ride, I'd recommend, you know, practice a little bit of climbing on rolling hills if you have that terrain nearby. Quick break in the shade. I think I'm gonna have a snack here. I'm feeling a little bit hungry. I'm gonna eat right now, so before I get even more hungry. I'm gonna start charging the GoPro. I have 17%, and yeah, I'm gonna eat my snacks. So for you guys doing long rides, I'd recommend always bringing snacks. I'm kind of nerdy about it. I like making like a list of like a guide to make sure I eat at a certain amount of time. So far I've been good, but right now it's like 12:13 noon, so it's really hot. So I'm gonna eat now before I start getting more tired and start cramping up. All right. So yeah, I was just saying how Vitargo and liquid food is, you know, gonna help you at a time like this. You absorb it faster, but sometimes you're feeling hungry, you kind of need real food. So I packed a croissant with me. A croissant, so I'm gonna eat it right now and then I'm gonna move forward again. Alright. I'm about 15 kilometers away. Just getting some shade. It's a bit hot, but it's cool because once you get into the shade, you can feel the cold wind because I'm getting closer to the mountains. I already finished my croissant. I still have a few snacks. I might have to eat it sometime before I get there. Then I'm just gonna keep going. My calves are starting to cramp a little bit. I think it's because of the heat. So I just stopped a little bit here in the shade, but I think I'll be okay. Some tips for you guys who are planning to go to Tagaytay or to bike up to Tagaytay. It's not that hard. It feels far because maybe when you go by car, you know, you have to get on the highway and whatever. But by bike, it's actually not that far from Metro Manila. It's around, you know, maybe 50 to 70 kilometers away. So if it's two-way, it's around 100 to maybe 140 kilometers depending on where you're coming from in Metro Manila. If you're in the south, it's a lot easier to get here, maybe 50 kilometers. And then I would suggest, you know, do a little bit of exercise, try climbing some hills and getting some volume in. I think this ride isn't really super intense because there's no like super steep climbs, but the volume of the climbing and the total distance is a little bit more than usual for beginners. But if you've done like, you know, 50, 60, 70 kilometer rides, this is something that probably you're prepared for, especially if you're used to doing it with climbs. So yeah, that's my tip for you guys who want to go up Tagaytay. Get a little bit of exercise and then do it. Do it. Do it. Also, if you do bring snacks, please do not litter. The Philippines is already too littered. So take your trash with you. Keep it in your pocket. Alright, let's go. Do it. In terms of gearing, obviously it depends on you and what kind of like pedaling you do. I think gearing is very subjective. What I want may not be what, you know, where you're comfortable with gearing. Some people like to spin fast, some people like to mash. I'd say I'm somewhere in between mashing and spinning. Just like, you know, not so crazy RPM. Gearing, my bike has a maximum gear of 34. So 34 in front and 25 in the back. So right now I'm on like maybe the 4th or 5th gear in the back and the small ring in the front. So kind of middle of the road. Alright, let's get on here. Yeah, you don't need super, you know, mountain bike gearing to go up this climb. Yeah, at least most people don't. Rodemi, Samgyup. Okay, medyo ano tayo. This is one of the steeper sections here on the way to Tagaytay on Emilio Aguinaldo Highway. I'd say this is probably 4 or 5%. So that's around as steep as it gets. But if you've been going, you know, 3, 4, 5% for an hour, it gets tiring. Your legs start to burn. So I actually had to stop for a bit to stretch my calves, but feel a lot better now. I think this is just the very tail end of the climb, so maybe, I don't know, another like 10, 12, 13 kilometers. Steeper section coming up. You can see it right there. And when I say steep, it's like, it's not that steep. Again, it's like 5, maybe 6%. it's not that bad. It's no Rev Pal, it's no Timberland, you know. It's not the type of thing where you're gonna be grinding. It's just a long, steady climb. Mahabang banayad nga. Sabi nga nila, di ba? Mahabang banayad. This is the section where I will go to my, not granny gear, but almost my lightest gear. Just chill lang. Chill lang. Take your time. Enjoy the view. That's where I'm going, Tagaytay Highlands. It's 21 kilometers from here. So it's uphill, so it's gonna take me a little bit more than an hour. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Just do it. Just do it! Oh, what a view. Up in the mountains. Doesn't get any better. If you're a city boy like me, all you see is buildings and, you know, concrete roads. Nothing beats being at the mountains. They say that if you like mountains, usually you're an introvert, and if you like beaches more, you're an extrovert. I think before pandemic, before quarantine, I'd say I like beaches more. Maybe like being alone so much and being isolated, quarantined. I think I like mountains a little bit more now. I have a different appreciation for it, and especially if you ride your bike. You know, mountains, very symbolic. Reaching the top of a climb, not so different from, you know, achieving a goal that takes quite a long time to achieve. You know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. One step at a time, one hill at a time. In this case, one pedal stroke at a time. And yeah, the feeling when you get to the top is just irreplaceable. So a lot of people watching this maybe are wondering, why is this dude doing this? Why would you climb in the sun on your own, you know, all the way up to Tagaytay? Well, you know, once you experience it, climbing to the top of a hill, especially something that's a goal for you, the feeling when you get to the top is just irreplaceable. So I'm just looking forward to that in about maybe 8 to 10 kilometers. Yep. This is one of the steeper sections, so I'm taking my time here. Take your time. It's hot. It's a little steeper, but we're almost there. This is like the last steep climb before we get there. I'm looking for a sign that's gonna say you're whatever 5 kilometers away or something, but I haven't seen one yet. But this is kind of familiar to me, this area. It's not the first time I'm doing this, so I kind of know where I am. Phew. Feeling it, feeling the heat, feeling my calves. Oh, what a view. All right, now I'm on my granny gear. So this is the steepest spot. Usually the steepest part of a climb, of a hill, is right before the top. So I'm hoping that we're getting there. Almost there. Red doors, Tagaytay here on the right. Almost there. Not so bad. So right now I'm on my max gearing, which is 34 in the front and 25 in the back. Not really your climber's gearing, but it's good enough for here. I'm not really grinding, I'm still spinning, you know. My legs are maybe like still at 90 RPM. Almost there, almost there. Just relax. We'll get there. Ay ka, grabe. Ay. People who don't know how to drive or respect cyclists in the Philippines, very common. It's getting better in the last year or so, but like most people don't know how to respect cyclists, just like that. Just shake your head, keep going. No need to get into a fight. Yeah. Just keep climbing. Just do it. Need some Vitargo again. Okay. After that hill, so you want to shift back. A little bit of a downhill section here, so kind of a rest, but I want to make it a little bit faster, so get up to speed and then just coast and breathe for a bit. There you go. Ooh, Biker's Rest Stop. Food and drinks, convenient mart. I wonder where that is. I don't see it. Alright, almost there. When you're, I'm already 4 hours, 16 minutes in, including the part where I had to go back down for my friend. So yeah, when you're 4 hours into biking, or what do I feel? Yeah, my butt kind of hurts, especially when you're going uphill. It's like you're really sitting your butt down. So my butt's starting to kind of hurt, so I like exchange standing up and sitting down just to like relieve the pressure, not really to get more power output or whatever, just really to relieve the pressure from my butt. Stand up a bit and sit down a bit. Santis Silang. Okay, I know we're near because Santis Silang is right there. There you go. Not so far away. I know this is nearby to Tagaytay, so yeah, getting there, making it. Also, since Tagaytay is also known to be cooler in temperature compared to other parts of southern Luzon, or Luzon, really other parts of the Philippines. You go to mountainous regions, it gets a little bit colder, so the wind here, even though it's sunny, the wind is nice and cool. Almost there, guys, almost there. Take your time. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Just keep pedaling, just keep pedaling. So yeah, like I said, there are lots of ways to get to Tagaytay. This is the most direct route, especially if you're aiming for the Tagaytay Rotonda. T6, so 6 kilometers away, not bad. Aguinaldo Highway is like one of the most direct routes, maybe one of the easier routes. Amadeo a bit longer, not as steep. There's also a few other ways. Maragondon, Naik, Crisanto, De Los Reyes Avenue. Basically, if you look at the map, all of the parallel streets, all of those can be used up to Tagaytay. But you gotta pick one. Except in Google Maps, you won't see how steep it is. So maybe use an app like Komoot or something, where you can see the gradient of the climb. So you know what you're in for, at least. You know what you can prepare for. You can look for climbs that are similar to prepare for it. And looks like a lot of traffic going into Tagaytay. It's okay, because it's not going fast anyway. Going about 16 kilometers per hour. It's nice to have this watch with me, a smartwatch. This one's a Huawei GT2e if you guys are curious, but any smartwatch is helpful. I know my heart rate. I know if I'm going too hard. I've trained with heart rate, so I know what my threshold, my limit is. Threshold heart rate. The only not so cool thing is with this particular smartwatch, no Strava. Beep beep. Yep. If trucks can see, you gotta make noise. Either blow your horn or make some noise with your voice so that they know you're there. So yeah, like I said, it really helps with me to have a smartwatch which has heart rate and GPS. at the very least. This one's a Huawei GT2e, but you know, any smartwatch with or fitness tracker with GPS and heart rate will really help you, especially in this climbing section. It's like, I know if I'm going too hard, I know if I can go a little bit harder, and I kind of like have trained, like, you know, I kind of know what my threshold is in terms of heart rate. It's not as like pro as training with like power. I know a lot of like the, you know, serious racers and serious cyclists use a power meter. I don't have one yet. I wish I had one. I can't afford one yet, but like when I can get one, that'll help me a lot. But what I like about this one is it just tells me my heart rate on my wrist. It tells me if I'm going too hard. Oh, 5 kilometers straight out. 54 away from kilometer 0. Heart rate right now is around 151, which is about my threshold for you know, endurance rides. Don't want to go much harder, no need to sprint or go too hard on the climbs because it's valuable energy. Almost there. Almost there. Alright. Just a bit more. Sign said 5 kilometers to Tagaytay, but usually the kilometer signs are up to the town proper. I know we're getting closer because I can see the Bukopay, Colette's Bukopay to be exact signs, which I know only are around Tagaytay area, or at least leaving Tagaytay. So, coming up. Hotel Dominique. Where we're at. Hotel Dominique. HD. Alright. Oh. Not so much more. Hey, this is new. Red Abode. Home improvement for less, is it? Kind of a new place. Tagaytay Medical Center coming up, 500 meters. I know that's kind of like already there. Yep, that's Macdo. So I can see the Rotonda. That's the target we're gonna get to. Top of the climb. And then our destination from there is about maybe a few kilometers. Turn left. Yep, my legs are feeling it now. But who wouldn't feel their legs after going 4.5 hours consistently pedaling? Like I said, there's the last section right here, so a little bit steeper. We're almost there. Water. Yeah, there it is. Tagaytay Rotonda coming up. You can see it. Yeah, this is the target. Tagaytay Rotonda. We made it, guys. Solo for the last 20 kilometers. The hardest part, but yeah, we made it. First time to climb this up on my own. Yeah. So this is it, Tagaytay Rotonda. This is what it looks like. Picture taken. Heading this way. Woohoo! I love it. Once you get here, it's awesome. No more climbing in general, unless you go down again to Sungay or to Revpal. But if you just stay here at the top, there's no more climbing. Just enjoy cold wind and the scenery. Yeah! So thanks for joining me on this Tagaytay climb. This is my first time to go solo. Hopefully the next time I do it, it'll be easier even, and maybe I'll get to bring my friends along with me too. Who knows? Awesome views of Tagaytay. Check it out! Got a clear view of Taal volcano and Taal Lake. Last year, when I was here last Feb, yeah, we were here when Taal erupted, and right now Phil Volks just released a statement saying there's alert level 1 for Taal right now. So, yep, it's still dangerous. This is still part of the evacuation zone. But luckily, being on a bike, it's a lot easier to evacuate. You won't get stuck in traffic. So once you get here to Tagaytay, there's a lot to do. Sightseeing, you can eat, get some good coffee. You know, if you have friends here, I have some friends here, so I'm probably gonna meet up with some friends. But yeah, enjoy the cold weather, enjoy the view, and just hang out. I'm aiming towards Highlands, staying at my fiance's dad's place. He has a cabin there, so it's perfect to ride here. They are bringing my stuff by a car, and I'll be meeting them later. But in the meantime, I'm gonna look for a place to eat and get some nice views. Yeah. Oh, epic view. Woo! So I made it. Highlands near People's Park in the Sky. Kain muna ako. Gonna eat some cup noodles or something, get some carbs in me, and then I'm gonna wait here for Amanda to bring me in, because you can't bring bikes inside Tagaytay Highlands. So I'm gonna eat first. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know if you like this one. I'm hopefully gonna make more videos like this, and let me know, you know, if you liked it, what you guys want me to do more, and where you want me to go. Suggestions, I'm open. Hopefully I can bike to all these other places that you guys are suggesting. So yeah, see you guys next time. Oh my. Yeah.
The wheel will fit in my car.
Yeah, kung the wheel, okay lang. Ulrich! Kasya ba?